My name is Yolanda Mulwa, and I am with the one, the only Dr. Catherine Masitsa. And she asked me, why me? And I told her, you cannot have a conversation on how to be a high-value woman without having Miss Madame High Value, Dr.C herself in the mix. No, I like you because you're very blunt, you're very honest, and you're never afraid to go there. Many people lately just want to hide behind I don't know what and not say what they mean and mean what they say. No one can ever misinterpret anything you've said. You're very clear. Yeah, I like you. You are just straight up, no chaser. You said you have to show up as yourself and confident. What else, Dr. C?
And talking of women, I think I have to say this at the very, very beginning. The fact that you are a woman and realizing the special, unique values that, like, let me not use the word value because we are here to talk about the value.
Yes.
Realizing that you have specific advantages you bring on a table, you bring to humanity as a woman.
Yes.
And embracing your femininity, it is so powerful.
Yeah.
There is nothing as a woman who is who knows that she's a woman and she's powerful. A lot of women try to turn up as men.
You think we've lost our softness, our femininity because of the hustle and bustle, because we're out here grinding with the men, and maybe we've become battle hardy. Tumekuwa wagumu kidogo.
Yes.
But the softer side, you're saying, has to still come out.
Yes, there's a reason why there's a man and there's a women. And what I say is that men have been at this game, whether it's business, for so many years.
Yes.
So we cannot rock up at whatever it is we are doing.
Yes.
And try to play men's games. We have to turn up as women, feminine, in our whole authentic femininity. And I don't mean you turning up, doing other things.
Or your legs and your boobs out.
No, I just means, and in fact, talking about boobs, you know, being a high-value woman, it's exactly what our mothers told us, what our grandmothers told us. Things, very basic things like self-respect, like cover up.
Yeah.
Cover up. Can you imagine? I've seen a lot of women thinking so that if you turn up with a short skirt, just, you know, showing it's your body, yes. But actually, in the world of men, men just would value a woman who remains potential. And when you can you imagine turning up even in an interview, especially for the young people listening, your boobs are all over, even the men are just like, huh? Can I see? Can I check? Can I? They're not even listening to what you're saying. And the women on the table are just like, if it's an interview for a job, they're like, no. Huyu ndio atakuja hapa kutuletea.
Troublemaker.
This is the one who will come and think she can just slip away to the top.
That is true.
I don't know.
Because people judge you from the first glance.
Yes. And they feel like, this one we've already finished with her. So basic things like those.
Yeah.
Basic things like keeping your boundaries. Yeah, not letting people talk to you in a certain way, like, you know, they could just have their way. Yeah, things like you know, just feeding yourself with positive mindsets and surrounding yourself with a positive mindset, because women, we are nurturers. Yeah, and therefore we are supposed to make you know, Proverbs 35 woman, and I know some of your listeners may not be exactly Christian.
Yes.
You know, a woman, you're supposed to make your home. We are just talking about your home, because earlier on I was saying,
yes,
high value to who? At the workplace? Is it at home? Is it in the community?
All round.
All round.
Because lately when you're looking, I gave you a scenario and I told you I have very many friends my age. I'm just about to clock 40.
Yeah.
And they've really hustled. They've worked hard tirelessly. They have their education right. But they're not attracting high value men. And instead of blaming and saying soko ndio mbaya, sini kweli,
tumeharibu
soko. Instead of saying the Nairobi dating scene is this, it's that, it's trash, it's garbage, who are you first of all? What do you have to offer? We hate this question as women lately. What do you have to bring to the table? Sometimes I say the whole damn table. You need to show up as the whole damn table, Daktari.
Yes.
Because it's the truth. You cannot expect a high level man and you're not also a high level woman. So have we lost our ways? And that's the reason why, because you attract what you have. You attract what you are.
Yeah, so I think so that I must say, when it comes to attracting a marriage partner, in terms of being high value, look at yourself first. What are you doing?
Yeah.
To obviously you need your boundaries. Yeah, there's what you can take, there's what you cannot take. That's what I call boundaries, the self-respect.
Yeah.
But also, are you working on yourself? Are you improving your education? Are you making your own money? Do you even know if you want to attract high value in terms of real asset value?
Bado wanaomba fair.
Can you even ati nitumie fair?
Nitumie fair. Gas imeisha.
That fair economy. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, there are things like that. You know, improving yourself first. So I usually find that sometimes women are looking for men who perhaps are already accomplished. Why don't you accomplish together? And I know there is a lot of debate about potential, marrying potential.
Marrying potential.
Yeah. But I think so that sometimes you may be earning more. And this is the truth of the matter, is that the women who are actually earning more and making more, the pool gets smaller and smaller.
It gets slimmer as you go up.
Yes. Obviously, you need to arrange your legal things really well so that you don't end up the way one of us ended up the other day. It's all over the media, right? Yeah, but I'm just saying that I think it's a very strong man who would really work with a woman who earns more than him.
They get intimidated.
No. If they are intimidated, then they are not the ones for you. There could be, just look for someone you can build together. You see, I think we are putting too much pressure on the boy child.
Very true.
Do you know a lot of people really make real money in their 50s?
What?
Do you know that globally, on average, all over the world, in their 50s, this is not a Kenyan situation only, all over the world,
in their 50s.
In their 50s.
But
that's when they really consolidate. A lot of people become dollar millionaires in their 50s. So if you are just talking about financial prosperity and security in terms of high value, then you are looking at a 50-year-old man.
But that's why girls are dating
that is
older than
father
them
already. So if you are if you're looking at starting afresh, with your age mates, average marriage age in Kenya is about 28 years old.
Yeah, you have to be realistic.
How are you expecting a 28-year-old boy
to be popping champagne for you?
They can. Champagne is nothing. You can pop champagne for 7,000. You can buy Moet and Chardon. You know, you can buy that. Anyone can buy that, right? Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're looking for a dollar millionaire already from a 32-year-old man, unless they are really from the dynasty or they're inheriting that money,
or they are cons, because we have very many boys 419ing here.
Yes. So I think so that is placing too much pressure on the boy child. Look for someone you can build with. There are things you could do to attract the right kind of person.
I like that.
You know, even just contribute to community projects, for example. Are you part of a community? So don't see yourself in isolation. You are, first of all, a lot of people are just climbing the career ladder.
True.
What are you doing for your church? Or for your, depending, not just church, if you're Hindu, what are you doing in your temple? Or if you're Muslim,
any charity, really.
Charity. How are you contributing to the community? You know, things like that. How are you a good daughter? Are you a good neighbor? Are you things like those contribute to you being a high value person? Do you have emotional intelligence?
I like that.
Basic things. Okay, I wouldn't say basic. Emotional intelligence.
They're very fundamental things.
You have to be intentional about being emotionally intelligent. Do you have empathy for other people? You have to work on those things. Do you, for example, is your voice being heard? Are you just quiet?
What do you stand for?
What do you stand for? There are many things happening in the society today. As some women don't even vote.
That is true.
Your civic rights.
That is true.
Are you voting? You know, if you are, for example, within a company, for example, at the Standard Group, we are at the Standard Group.
Yes.
And there's women who have made up a chama. Are you contributing? Are you part of that? Some women just like to sit somewhere in a corner. They're not being part of conversations. They're not showing up and showing off in that way, you know. Very, very important. Even cultivating female friendships is really important. What do you think?
I love that. We're going to take a music break, and when we come back, I love the things you're talking about because I feel like the young generation is lost. We're looking at turn-ups, a man who will take you to Dubai so that you can take those desert safari pictures, and that's not it. What you're saying is champagne is not life. There's more to life than popping at your 7,500 bottle of champagne.
Honestly.
That's why she's in this studio today.
That's what it costs. Like, is that your price?
Is that your price?
Yeah? You know, basic things like, what do you mean you're living with a man who has not even visited your parents? Like, what do you mean? Like, honestly, what do you mean?
I love it. I love it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
See, that's the bite. What do you mean you're living with a man who has not visited your parents?
That's basic disrespect. Like, are you a wife? What are you?
Can we stay? Can we try?
Like, what? Like, honestly, please, girls. Let's respect ourselves.
Oh my goodness. We still have Dr. Catherine Masitsa in the house, and we're discussing how to be a high value woman. Daktari, let's talk about social media. You can't run away from social media. We see a lot on social media. You all show us your houses, you all show us, and we start drawing unfair comparisons. I need to pick your brain and find out what you have to say about the whole social media space.
So, what I have to say is exactly what I started with. And that's why I started with, because I'm so aware that your audience, actually Gen Zs, I think so. And
Millennials.
Yeah, millennials.
Yeah.
And in these days of social media, my goodness, women are just busy comparing themselves with others. Is my ass big enough? Is my face smooth enough? Is my waist small enough? Is like, who has the biggest wardrobe? Who has, what people don't know. And we've seen some social media stars fall in a very spectacular way. So this is why I'm saying show up as yourself in the most authentic way and express yourself fully. Say what you want to say. Yeah? Obviously, apply emotional intelligence, but just be yourself. Everybody is taken. Don't compare yourself with the people you're seeing on social media.
True.
It is so important because this is why young people now, not young people, we have mental health problem in Kenya. We have to acknowledge. It's not just about the young. It's because people are busy comparing themselves with other people, and half the time it shocks me how these people are just faking a life.
You had to go there. Yes.
Actually, yes, they're just faking, and you've seen it. When it falls, everything comes tumbling down in
Very
such
true.
a way. It's like a house of cards.
True.
Literally, everything tumbles down, and oh my God. So it's just, embrace what you have, appreciate what you really have. And when I say just appreciate what you have, because I have lived life.
Yeah.
And one of the things I actually feel that for you to be authentic to yourself,
Yes.
I think you need to be self-accepting. Accept your flaws. Completely accept your flaws.
Yes.
When I was growing up, Yolanda, I was one of those girls who had an amazing body. It was athletic.
Yes.
But I think maybe I wasn't celebrated enough growing up.
Yes.
That I would look in the mirror and I'm just seeing, who is that? Some fat girl. Like, it took me, and we'd go like buy clothes with my friends. I'm like, what are you talking about, Dr.C? We want to be you.
Yes.
You have a really good body. It took me time to really like understand that I really have a good body and really truly embrace myself and wear what I want to wear.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at, look at these women, even with cellulite, with tires, all
And
over.
you are naturally just okay.
I'm just okay. Like, what's wrong with me? In terms of why don't I just see what I'm seeing? And that's why I said, why should even anyone listen to me? It's because I have seen that. I've lived it myself.
Yes.
Embracing yourself and just even celebrating your flaws and celebrating your failures. I think, honestly, in this country,
Wow.
we are not celebrating failure enough. Like, learn to laugh at yourself. When you fail, it's just you've discovered one way of not actually doing something.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can move on to the next and move on to the next. The problem is people try something, especially women, you try something and then you don't get it. And then you just think you've completely failed. You're a total failure in life. No. The more things you try, the more you're likely to find out how to do it.
Yeah.
The more you can look at yourself and laugh at yourself, wake up the next day and actually do it. Because the truth is, nobody knows anything for sure in this world. Nobody knows anything for sure. Everybody is just trying. And when they try, it worked.
Yeah.
Ask a lot of people even who are in business. I'm telling you today, you can have a business case. You take it even to one of these graduate schools of business, the Ivy Leagues.
Yes.
You will have one group that will tell you, this is why this thing will not work. And another one will tell you, this is why it will work.
Yes.
Same good brains. So the thing is, you just have to keep trying because everybody is trying. Yeah? And just be gentle with yourself.
I love that.
Yeah, self-love. Let's just practice, actually, self-love. So, this is February, the month of love. It's not about you just receiving flowers and from some man or something.
Yeah.
I think just learn to be gentle with yourself. And when you love yourself, it really shows. Because half the time, the way... today, I think it was today, I was going through the social media posts and I came across this lady who was saying, if you talked to your friends the way you talk to yourself, do you think they'll stay around?
No. They think you're too harsh.
Yeah, they will just run away.
Yeah.
So why are you doing that to yourself? Yeah, just being gentle with yourself and realizing that you're a human being, but also understanding. This is what people don't understand. Do you know people fear people who are just perfect? Did you know that?
Because it's not realistic.
Yes.
We are almost like, wacha ule akae huko pale peke yake.
Yes. And when we are talking about high value, sometimes we are talking about there is the value you feel yourself.
Yeah.
There is how other people also perceive you. Looking at how do you land on other people. Okay?
Yes.
Sometimes we are not aware. Practicing that self-awareness. In your world, you could just think, I'm just high value. I am. But maybe the way you're landing on other people, you're this perfectionist.
I like that.
So part of what I practice, when I say learn to accept yourself and celebrate your flaws, strive for self-improvement, but don't, this perfectionism. Some people can't even start doing something. And then when you land on people like you just want things that are just perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of us human beings, even the Bible says, we have fallen short.
Yeah.
Because we are, by virtue of the fact that we are human. So when you want to come across as that perfect person, this perfect, that's how people will run away from you. But it starts with self-accepting.
I like that.
And so that people can relate. People want someone they can relate to. Yeah. And when people can relate to you, then you become high value.
Yeah.
People can see your value. Let's talk to so-and-so. She has experience in doing that. She will advise us. Do you understand? That's when people will now start coming to you for advice. Because you know what? You've been there, done that.
And you're a human.
And you're human. Yeah, that's just what I really want to say. Because I have seen people going through things, but because they think they have to be perfect, they crumble, they shrivel and fall and hide away from the whole world.
That is true.
Because they wanted to come across
As perfect.
as being really truly there's nothing like that. In fact, the other day I had was it President Obama who said, by the way, when you land in some of these boardrooms, in these rooms, some of these even leadership, you're sitting with the presidents, you're there sitting and thinking, how did people elect you?
Yeah. How did people elect you?
Like, how did you get elected? Because
Yeah.
You see, and that's the other thing. You know what men do?
Yeah.
A man, even if he was just, in fact, he drove that Mheshimiwa, I don't know where, to do something, he'll put it on his CV. He attended the National Prayer Breakfast.
Yes. By virtue of being the president plus one.
He will even put it on his CV. And he will rock up as in he can do that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, again, that walking a room and commanding a room. Like, like, there's no other person. There is no... Do you know one woman who really, really encouraged me?
Yes.
Was the late Orie Rogo Manduli.
Yes.
I loved... Like, I truly loved her.
A total woman.
I really loved her. I actually did an interview. I think I'll repost it again. I did an interview on her.
Yes.
And I was talking to her and I'm just like, oh my goodness. You know, I asked her, so Orie Rogo Manduli, what do you do? How do you do what you do?
Yes.
I remember so clearly it was an International Women's Day event. It was happening at Sarova Stanley. And I even remember what I was wearing that day because it was a transformation time for me.
Yes.
Like that answer transformed me. She told me, listen, I am Orie Rogo Manduli. Why should I turn up like anybody else?
Yes.
I do it my way. There is only one. And I say there is only one Dr. Catherine Masitsa. And I am going to turn up like Dr. Catherine Masitsa. And when I turn up, you're all going to know I'm there. Otherwise, why? By the way, when I even go to church, I sit at the front.
That is true.
I will turn up early,
bright and beautiful.
as I mean,
yes.
And I'm going to sit at the front. And you're going to know I'm there. Otherwise, you know, we all have a finite time on this world.
That is true.
Of the little time God has given you on earth, because it's finite.
Yes,
Why would you waste time being somebody else?
And shriveling up and hiding in the corner?
Like fully participate. Turn up. Just don't waste your time. There are better things you can do. If you're going to turn up fully, partake. You know?
Yeah.
Fully. If you're a Kenyan citizen, turn up fully as a Kenyan. Kanyaga inchi yako kwa nguvu na raha. If it's voting, you vote. Make your opinion heard. Yeah. If it's a workplace, contribute. Whatever it is you're meant to do, how are you helping God's children? Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean by fully expressing yourself.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to play a song and then we're going to get into the news. But I know our time is done. You must come back. We must discuss 2 comments we must discuss today on this show before you go. And I begged for you to stay just for a few more minutes on the other side of the clock. The TV comment and the curtain comment. So we'll listen to a song and then we'll come back. We have some comments about a high value woman. Take a listen.
Corporate Kenyan, if you like, and I think what makes one a high value woman is number 1, confidence, 2, smelling good, 3, hygiene, 4, I would say mannerisms. Obviously, you don't want to be someone who shouts and things like that, and number 4, someone who is in touch with God, I would say.
It's Christopher. To answer your question, a high value woman to me is someone who respects herself. You know, when you consider someone who's high value, is how they carry themselves. Not only individually or as well, it's also how do they respect the people around them. Number 2 is God-fearing. To me, someone who values God and loves God, to me that is everything to me. So respect God, that is everything to me.
Hi, my name is Sheila, and I think how one becomes a high value woman is by focusing on themselves, watching their mental health, maintaining a self care routine, becoming independent, make sure they're financial stable, so financial stability, having healthy relationships with people around them, and yeah, being gentle.
Hey, my name is Jay, and I think a high value woman is made up of so many qualities, but I'll just highlight a few that are key. And one of them is confidence and self respecting, as well as emotional maturity, in the sense that she knows her worth and sets clear and healthy boundaries, and also continuously working on personal growth, in the sense that she balances strength with femininity, and also communicates effectively.
And we are back with Dr.C. I love that everybody is having a good time. 9 minutes past 1 o'clock. Yolanda Mulwa and Dr. C in the flesh. And salamu from your people. Marilyn Ayub Havai. Raz Carter says, fantastic show, good topic. Eric Samson, Frederick Ogembo, Tina Masese, Simon Kuria, Sarah Sashi is enjoying everything, including the music. And this was a very powerful conversation. And I want you to tell us more. You know, today I'm like, I'll listen, we'll all listen and learn. You have such nuggets of wisdom,
Yeah.
to tell us.
So, okay, so what I need to say, if you notice the whole of my conversation, I didn't talk about makeup.
Yes.
I didn't talk about dressing up, and it may seem to some people that it perhaps is not important.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I want to quote one of the biggest beauty entrepreneurs in the world.
Yes.
And I'm quoting her because of what she stood for. And, you know, Estee Lauder, she said, in a normal, ordinary life, we all wish people could just judge us by the goodness of our hearts.
Yes.
But the truth is, at the end of the day, the pretty woman always has the last laugh. And based on that alone, she established a huge beauty empire. So what am I saying?
Yes.
That the beautiful woman will always have the last laugh. But what is beauty? It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
So what am I saying? Turn up. When you turn up, people take 3 seconds to decide whether they'll do business with you or not. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who looks careless. They're not like grooming themselves. Somebody who looks sick.
Yeah.
Who will do business with you when you look sick? So
and hungry, like you'll run with
and
my
hungry
money.
with the dry chapped lips. So women, to be a high value woman,
Yes.
grooming really important. So there's a place for makeup. I'm not going to condemn it.
Yes.
There is a place of makeup.
Yeah.
And we have to move with the times.
Yes.
Yeah? We have to look physically fit. You know, you don't want to look like you just climb the stairs and you're just like, nobody's gonna, like, honestly, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is really, really important. So grooming, really important. Be stylish, look good. If it's makeup, apply makeup, do your brows, your hair, let it be neat in the right place.
Be presentable.
Because like we say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So there are just certain beauty standards to actually keep and be presentable.
I love it. She said what she said.
Yes, I said what I said.
Now I want to talk about something else you said that was so controversial. So we see a clip from KTN Holmes' show, Nylan Tay's show. She comes to your house, Art of Living. She comes to your house. Of course, your beautiful home in Karen, and we love everything. Nothing is out of place. You're also looking very demure, very classy, very cutesy. Dr. C, did you not have this entire town in a tailspin? Ati ulisema watu wako na TV kwa sitting room ni nani? Me, I was offended. I was like, just tell us. Because I understood where you came from. But sometimes you'll see a clip and then you don't know the full scope or the full gist of the conversation. Please tell us about how you feed your minds in your house.
So actually what I said is I talked about a poverty mindset.
Yes.
It's a poverty mindset. I'm not, look, I'm a reality TV star.
Yes.
I've made a living out of creating TV shows.
Yes.
And people have watched Samantha's Bridal. So in no way am I saying it is wrong to watch TV.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's time for everything.
Yeah.
And being a high value woman, just bringing us back to the topic, is the fact that sometimes we have to feed our minds. It means we have to read. We have to read and educate ourselves and be able to engage in a conversation. Have you ever sat on a table where, and this has happened to me, there's a girl just seated there or a woman seated there. Everybody's partaking in a conversation and they're just quiet. It's really bad manners. And half the time, the reason why these people are quiet is not because they're introverts.
Yeah, they don't have anything
They
to say.
just have nothing to contribute. And the way to get things to contribute is read books. Wake up, read something. Make a point to read a book a month. Look in the papers what there is, not like even the physical papers. You can
The
buy it
e-paper.
online. Then you can actually even look at news. So that you can engage in meaningful conversations with people. I am telling you, there are people who actually don't self-improve like this. You go to their houses, the TV set is just the center of their conversations. Like they are busy watching shows and you're there. Actually, you're there. You're not having a conversation. So I talked about a mindset.
Yes.
And it's a mindset because if you watch that show, and you can go and watch it online.
Yes, on YouTube.
On the standard YouTube channel.
Yes.
As a standard group YouTube channel.
Yes.
I actually say that it's not about even the size of the house. There are people with grand homes like mine, and my home is grand.
Yes. You have a sitting room, you have a TV room, you have a room gani
Yes,
ingine?
but there are people with
Doc, we
such
have one room.
There's people with such grand homes.
Yeah.
Still have a TV in the kitchen.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know where everywhere.
True.
And it's just. I meant, let me just say, it's a mindset. I started off in a bed sitter. I was like, not a bed sitter, okay, at a 1-bedroom house. I still did not have a TV in my living room.
You are feeding your mind in other ways.
Yes, so I'm just saying, feed your mind. The other issue that came up, obviously, and a lot of people have talked about, is the issue of curtains.
Curtains. In fact, my producer Agnes and I could not wait. I hope she won't feel bad. We have to end the conversation. You don't have curtains, Dr. C.
I don't have curtains. Reason being, number one, talking of well-being, I like to bring the outside in.
Yes.
Yeah? Trees, plants. Actually, it's advised that you could have a living plant in your house, even if you're in a 1-room house.
Yes.
Because they help in cleansing the air,
Yeah.
but also it's good for the look.
Yeah, feng shui.
But number two, what I actually didn't mention, I've never actually had curtains, but because I've been so lucky, God has been good, I've always had grand homes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because sisi unajua apartment block yako, Jeff. Hii dirisha inaangalia ndani ya dirisha yangu. So we have no curtains, makosa itafanyika.
No, but what I mean is that now even developers are realizing that you will find that because it has become something like even a status symbol.
Yes.
But developers are realizing it. You find that they have these one-way windows. You can see people outside. The people outside cannot see you, but the glass really still looks good. But I also mentioned that now it's a big statement.
Yeah.
Imagine how you'd scare thieves away. Like what? You mean everything is just on display?
Yes, she's not
Means there's a high-tech security there. Yeah, so you scare off, rather than attracting thieves, you actually scare away thieves. But if you are in a place like, say, in New York.
Yes.
New York, it's almost like they must have.
Curtains.
Like, no. People, actually, it's a status symbol.
Not
in the
having curtains.
suburbs. Yes.
We are sorry.
It's
Dr.
actually in terms of
when we grow up.
If you have, some people say, it's for preventing the cold from coming in. Like a lot of those people, they are oligarchs. That's only in Russia. They are billionaires. And your money can afford to buy you heating.
That is true.
If it's winter and all that.
And so even they have the heated floors.
Yes.
And
But one thing I have to mention, there's also a tax element associated with windows. Yeah. So in Europe, the bigger the windows, the more the tax you are paying. So people started building houses with smaller windows. So when they came to colonize Africa, they realized, Allah, these people don't even have windows. The African huts didn't have windows. So they introduced the hut tax. The number of, according to the number of huts you have, you have to pay tax according to that. And in some countries, having your windows covered up like that, they could call the police on you. What are you hiding?
Yes.
It's like you trust your neighbors. It's a mark of trust. So in some, like Denmark, in the countryside, you close your windows like that if you're an immigrant. They'll call the police on you.
They're
or
like,
if it's
you're selling drugs.
Or they'll tell Trump to come and deport you. He's in the US.
So we read too much into window treatments, and it's not a big
too
deal.
Much. It's not a big deal. And I would say this to renters: if you're renting a home, why don't you put that because curtains are not cheap. Put that money in good art, invest it in something. In a good chair that you can move with. You can't move with those expensive curtains.
That's true. You make me happy.
It's such a waste of money.
I can't wait to get rid of my curtains. Today you've told us, by the way.
It's a waste of money. Buy good art that you can move with.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And there's also two-way glass.
Yes.
Where nobody from outside can see you, so you can still keep your dignity and your privacy. Hey, Dr.C, we saw that message and we were like, oh, yeah, to Tukana. In fact, Agnes was like, see, this is that chick for curtains.
The one. I am telling you. But the other thing people need to know. If you have your chair close to the wall, itabidi fanye bidii. If you put your sofa like on the wall like that, it's a mark off. If your bed is too next to the wall, utafanya bidii.
Mwambie amekam to describe. Now you need to go back to your flower farm.
Yes.
Tell us what you're working on. I know you have a flower farm now. I know you have your own wine. Is there anything else you're looking to do? Because I feel like you've dabbled in everything.
So I need to pay the bills. Wakenya nyinyi, you go buy Samantha wines. It's available in all the supermarkets and all the places where you can buy your wine. So when I talked, if you follow me on my IG, you saw me with some flowers.
Yes.
So I work with a lot of flower farms. Yes. Now, Kenya is the 4th biggest exporter of roses, cut flowers.
Yes.
Especially roses to the world.
Yes.
And I thought about it. I'm in the love business. Why don't I breed a rose?
Yes.
After my name, such that when you go around the world, you hear this rose is called Samantha's Bridal. So I have a rose called Samantha's Bridal.
Wow.
It's purplish, greenish in color, vintage.
Yes.
And it's grown by very many flower farms. Subati, Flamingo, the Rosetto, very many all over the world.
Did you engineer the seed yourself?
Yes. So the seed, if you go in the this genetically engineered, you have your library.
Yes.
Yeah. So my breeders can supply you with that seed. So you have to buy the seed from my breeders.
Patented, it's yours.
It's patented, it's ours. You cannot grow a similar flower in that way. That name forever, for eternity. It is a Samantha's Bridal Rose. And come to think of it, in this country, I think it's Kempinski only who has a flower in their name, but that was engineered from Holland because it's a German brand.
Yeah.
There's nobody else with a flower in their name, but I think so that we should have more. We should have more. This is a country of roses, so we should have more named after our national parks.
But you see, you're teaching us. Many people didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah,
that
but because I'm getting
have a flower from the seed.
Yes.
Yes.
It's you have to work with a breeder.
Yes.
There's a lot of patenting. There's a lot that goes into it. I worked with a company called Jan Speck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can check. It's been around since the 1800s, that company. And they're the ones who we worked with them. So if you go on their catalog, you will find our rose there. And so can you imagine if we had a rose called Masai Mara?
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I wanted
even
to
after our national parks, like you were saying, Samburu.
So if you go online, by the way, you will actually see my flower being reviewed alongside others. So this one is called Samantha's Bridal, and it's instructive to know that during the royal wedding, the flowers that the Kate Middleton was carrying,
Yes.
and even the ones Meghan Markle was carrying, do you know they were grown in Kenya at Tambuzi?
Wow.
Those were our flowers on a world stage.
Yes.
Now you remember obviously the 1 million per person wedding reception we did.
Yes.
And suddenly everybody was talking about the wedding reception that happened, the royal wedding reception that happened in Kenya.
Yes.
If they could have been talking negative things.
Yes.
Sky News was talking positively. Fox News, they're always talking negative things about Africa. They were talking positively about this party that is going on.
True.
All CNN, everybody picked up that story. So when we are crafting our own stories and building strong Kenyan brands, how are we turning up and competing
On an international
platform? Are we just exporting but yeah, you can find us.
I love it. I love it.
So you could be somewhere in a flower market in Holland, you're hearing Samantha's Bridal, the rose, and you're like, there's a Samantha's Bridal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Kenya to the world.
It's Kenya to the world.
It is such a pleasure to just
Thank
even
you.
bask in your awesomeness. You are quite something. We will never forget you, even the flower side.
Thank you for having me. I have thoroughly enjoyed and just having this conversation.
Yes.
Because it's about giving back. It's about learning from each other.
Yes.
And just embracing who we are, our flaws, our beauty, our strengths, embracing who we are so that we can march forward as we mean to as a country.
I love it. Always showing up as yourself.
Thank you,
This
Yolanda.
is my song to you. Destiny's Child, independent woman.